What's your opinion on Commonwealth? Is that not real marriage to you?
It it doesn't count the same way to them. If they can't say it and say, I'm telling the truth when I tell somebody else I'm married, then it's not the same thing. It'll be like, yeah, like, so you take sex for instance. I almost stuck it in. I fingered her. I sucked on her titties, but I never put it in all the way. So you can't say you hit, even though you can say you sexually active. I'm trying to find something to correspond to so you can understand how they view it.
I understand how they view it. I'm
I
just
don't think we have an issue with understanding. It
delusional.
just the we're talking about the whole totality of the whole situation. That's why I said ages ago, devoid of any religious significance, the backing and grounding for marriage is extremely weak because, like he said, everything, the only thing that you can get in marriage that you can't get outside of marriage is the legal tax breaks. You can't get that outside of marriage. But being able to put them as a beneficiary, being able to change your last name, getting a wedding ring, getting these protections for your kids, for your family, there is nothing else besides
Okay,
the legal tax benefits and the religious significance that you get from getting married in the US.
mm-hmm.
So to answer your question, podcast, I don't believe in common law. I don't have children. I will not be having children without marriage. So that's that. But the other thing that marriage does give, and we talked about this a couple months back, Shannon Mistaken had brought up that your legal rights to your children are different when you are married, divorced, separated, whatever, than if you're just the baby daddy. Like, there are other repercussions to being married. There are other benefits to being married that you get that aren't just taxes. Like, yes, you can file all of the other paperwork and stuff like that to fill those things in, but it all comes automatic with the marriage certificates. It's supposed to make your life easier. The other part is that the idea that the marriage certificate doesn't really add any value, it's because we've devalued it. It's not that the marriage certificate itself doesn't hold any value, the representation of it. We've decided we're just going to live together, we're just going to have babies at random and do all of this stuff. And we've chosen to not make marriage a valuable thing. And look where it's gotten us. We're having conversations about how to pull ourselves up from last, how to build community again, how to build families again, because people are just spreading their seed all over the place. You have these fractured families all over the place. So I hear what you guys are saying. I understand the risk that men take on with it. I do implore that women take on more responsibility when they're choosing somebody and not opting out to leave. That is a very separate conversation than what's the
Mm-hmm.
point of marriage.
Yeah, I don't know I don't know if you realize what you did, but you compared, right, the peace of mind that you may get as it pertains to parental rights inside of a marriage to what would happen if you're breaking up outside of a marriage. What if we not breaking up? Why do I even need any of that paperwork if we still together? If we still together and we not married, none of that is going to matter. Here's the thing: the same complications will arise if we split up and we have to deal with the courts that will arise if you get divorced and you have to deal with the courts. It's the same thing. Child support, custody, all of that can be a battle for people when they married, just like it can be a battle for people when they're not married. The only difference is alimony is involved as well. And it's not involved if you don't have the paperwork.
So with that logic, then why not just do it? If it's the same either way, why not just acquiesce to the woman that you say you're choosing?
Because there's no reason for why would I do anything extra to get the same result? That makes no sense. Why would I spend more money? Why would I take more of a risk? Why would I do any of that to get the same result? There's no
A,
logic to that.
a marriage certificate is what, $100, a couple $100 depending on the state. Like, how much extra money is it? Like, I don't.
Absolutely.
It's
But what percentage? Yes, but what percentage of people do you think are just doing that? Or do they really want the wedding? See, this is the part where we get into the
no,
nuances
no,
of
no,
the
no.
conversation, right? Don't pretend like most women are just going to go get that marriage certificate. They want a wedding. That's one of the biggest reasons why they want to get married, is because they want the wedding. They want the fashion show. They want to show off. They want the party. They want the unveiling. So that's more money that I have to spend on a relationship that isn't guaranteed to last, right? Like I told you, I just met a guy 30 years. Now, 30 years is a long time, but still.
So, but see, and this is, let me apologize. I apologize. I'm having a hard time following the conversation because I feel like the goalpost keeps moving. Because when I talked about the assurance that you would get with your children should you separate, you said, but what if we stay together? And now we're factoring the cost of marriage, or the cost of a wedding, sorry, and how it would be a waste if it's not going to last. So are we talking about relationships that are going to last? Are we talking about relationships and factoring in the possibility of it ending?
So I'm going to assume that you're not doing this on purpose, but what was just said, right, was when I said, why would I want to spend more money? Mm-hmm. And you said, well, a marriage certificate is only $100. So that's why the price of the wedding and all of that came in, because most people not just going to get the certificate. So it's going to cost you more money to get married.
So I understood that part. Yeah, I understood that part. But it was the part about how it would be a waste if you're not sure if it's going to last. That was the part that I was like, I thought we were talking about relationships that were going to last. So that's where my confusion came in.
Right. So if we were talking about relationships that were going to last, then there's no more peace of mind that you have inside of a marriage as it pertains to parental rights that I would have outside of a marriage, because both of the relationships are going to last. So there's no more peace of mind that you have than I don't have, because we already know, we can see the future based on our analogy that the relationships are going to last. So I might have been mistaken, because I thought what I heard you say with there's more peace of mind in the relationship with the marriage as it pertains to parental rights if the relationship fails. So I might have mistakenly heard you on that part. But if we're saying that the relationships are going to last regardless, then you have no more peace of mind than I do just because you're married.
So I did say that, right? And then you said we're talking about relationships that are going to last. And then,
because I thought we were, yeah.
Right. So then I had acknowledged that, and then we had moved on to the cost of weddings, right? And then you made that statement. So I was just trying to reposition myself and figure out where we were in the conversation.
Yeah.
I think contrary to popular belief, not all women want weddings. I think women feel pressure from their families and all that stuff to have these big weddings. To be honest, let me not say most. Some women are totally okay with just a family dinner. We sign the paperwork and all of this stuff.
No, HD, that's not how we communicate. We can't communicate with some. Don't y'all watch Ham Channel? You can't say it's the majority or the minority, right?
So what happens in the case of a minority?
I'm saying, are you going to sit here with us today? With you're very intelligent. I like that about you. Are you going to tell me that you believe that 51% of women don't want weddings?
But that doesn't. So a larger minority is still worthy of conversation.
It is, but I'm saying
if there's still 25%, that's still 1 in 4 people. They're still not a majority. They're still not half. But there's still a large enough group that we can have an actual conversation, because it does still affect the rest of the community. So me saying some is still relevant to the conversation because there's still impact.
Yes, but not in with the majority. If the majority of women want weddings, then there's no reason to make the argument.
Well, okay, so real quick, real fast, and then you can go AP. It don't matter because you ain't trying to give her a wedding anyway. So even if she decided to go your way without the legal, she not getting a wedding. So what's the